Hi, Simon, are you there?
Hi, Adam. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Sorry, I was just finding you on WhatsApp. Looks good. You've got two good camera angles. Um,
Yes, I'm just trying to work out where it is picking up my voice from somewhere. So I was just trying to figure out where.
just mute your YouTube in your browser.
Muting YouTube. Yeah. So you happy with the setup?
Yeah, looks good. Tell me, are they projecting the Stadio image onto that back screen? I can't quite see.
That back screen's got the Stadio logos and everything on it. The projector is linked up to the system that I'm plugged into.
Okay, great. Any other question from my side, because you've got two good camera angles, is the audio.
Yeah. What's wrong with the audio?
No, audio is fine. The the music, so the entrance and then all the different music bits that they play, you're not playing that, eh?
I will mute myself for those.
Yeah, but I'm saying you're not playing them off your system. They're coming through the house PA.
No one has spoken to me about it, so I'm
Okay.
going to assume not.
Yeah, so if they haven't spoken to you about it, that's great. Because last time they asked us to do it, we can't do it while we live stream. Otherwise, we can have an audio issue.
Yeah.
So if anybody does ask you, just say no.
Okay, will do.
Good stuff. If you are able to, the camera that's front on,
Yes.
so not to the podium, but front on. If you're able to, I don't know if you've got access to the remote control or
It's in my hand.
the touch panel, you might want to go just one or two clicks tighter. That's perfect. I think that's perfect.
There's
Yeah,
Coral stage.
yeah,
Perfect.
that's really good.
Cool. Sounds good.
Fantastic. Adam, thanks so much. Have a great week.
Will do. You too.
Do me a favor, if they've sent you an indication of the programs for the week, sessions and times, can you forward that to me?
I'll hunt one down and I'll let you know.
Awesome. Thanks, Adam. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers, Simon.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. May I have the attention of the graduates quickly, please? I think we're going to start exactly at 9:30. Welcome to your graduation session this morning. With regards to the photographs, once the time arrives, you'll be asked to move from your seats to your right hand sides. Then one of two things that's going to happen. I'll try and split it up and tell you what's going to happen in terms of qualification. You'll proceed with one of the yellow cards, bring it with to the stage. That needs to be filled out and kept on your person until it's taken in from you. And I would believe also your name ticket that's on your seat, that also comes with. For those of you who qualifies with hoods, you bring that with on your left forearm, as Elijah is demonstrating. It might be turned the other way around. I'm not exactly certain. They would assist you. So if you do have it on your shoulders yet, do take it off. And then it goes into your left forearm, those qualifying with hoods. You'll be proceeding forward. I would believe that this name card would be given to the person introducing you. Then we come to the important part. There's a carpet with this podium. Please stand on the carpet. If you stand off the carpet, you're going to not have a photograph in focus. You'll be out of the crop, be cut in half. So that's the only place you need to stand for the first photograph to be taken when that flash goes off. Afterwards, you proceed forwards to the main functionary, where one of two things will happen. You'll pass that point, higher certificates, diplomas, advanced diplomas. You'll pass the main functionary to the banding box. The PGCEs and higher degrees, and then everything after that, you will kneel down in the middle, okay, and then you'll be kept by the main functionary. Please make sure that your tassels hang on your left or on your back side. They'll also do that for you. For those who've got long hair, please tie it around your left hand side ear so you can open face from the left hand side to take that photograph forward. Then everyone will proceed to the banding box. The first part of qualification, you'll stand and wait there for a handshake or for congratulation, where the third photograph will be taken. Those with hoods, you'll hand the hood over to the person waiting on the box and then wait for the hood to move over your face. The moment that it passes your chin would be the exact time that that photograph again will be taken. And then after that, please leave the stage. You'll receive a scroll from the table on your far left-hand sides. Then important, we haven't marked the floors yet. You'll exit this hall through the first door. A head and shoulders portrait will be taken. Then you'll proceed to another table where you'll actually receive your qualifications paper. And then please proceed back to your respective seats. This set of photographs are taken of each and every graduate. However, if you want to have it sent to you by print or digitally, you need to make an order. And you can do so after this function is officially stopped in the foyer at the photo station. Please also feel free to then take your family members with after you visit the photo station upstairs for family photos. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to our autumn 2023 graduation ceremony. We please ask that all phones are switched to silent. Please remain seated throughout the duration of the ceremony and do not leave the hall unless it is an emergency. Please, can I ask that we all rise for the entry of the academic procession? Thank you.
By virtue of the powers vested in me as the Chief Executive Officer, I constitute this gathering a congregation of stadium. Please be seated. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this 8th of May graduation ceremony in a cold and wet Centurion. This ceremony, ladies and gentlemen, is part of our Stadio's autumn graduation series of ceremonies that started 4 weeks ago in Windhoek, Namibia, and which will conclude the end of this week here in Centurion. During the autumn graduation series, we made 17 opportunities, graduation opportunities available for Stadio graduates this season. Ladies and gentlemen, the first graduation ceremony in South Africa was held on the 7th of April, 1910 at UCT in Cape Town. On that day, a total number of 6 students graduated for various degrees. Today, 113 years later, graduation ceremonies are still an important part of the academic calendar at universities and higher education institutions throughout South Africa and the entire world. Graduation ceremonies were constituted to be an academic celebration. Today, ladies and gentlemen, it is just that, a celebration of academic achievement of our graduates. But today is also an historic day for us as an institution, as we will confer our first doctorate degrees this morning at this ceremony. But before we continue with the celebrations, please allow me the opportunity to welcome a few people in person. Firstly, Dr. Vincent Mapai. Dr. Vincent Mapai is our chairperson of the Stadio Holdings Board, and Dr. Mapai is also our keynote speaker this morning. Dr. Mapai, as always, it is a huge honor having you here with us this morning. Thank you for you being here. Also on stage this morning, our Chief Academic Officer, Professor Divya Singh, various heads of schools, as well as senior academic leadership. Welcome to you, Shariska Knutse, our Executive Head for Distance Learning, our Head of Campus and host this morning, Dr. Simon Kekana, Deputy Registrars, Heads of Academics, all academic staff, and all support staff. A special word of welcome to all the family and friends of our graduates. You being here this morning make this event extra special and a real celebration for our graduates. Welcome to our VIPs, our graduates. I know that there is a congratulatory address later in this program, but I think it is just appropriate for me at this stage to congratulate you all on your remarkable achievement. Congratulations, well done. We are extremely proud of you. Ladies and gentlemen, let's give them a nice warm round of applause. Today, when you walk over the stage, and I can see the excitement, a lot of you can't wait for that opportunity. I see a few concerned, worried faces. Don't be, you will do fine. But today, when you walk over the stage, you will become part of a very special group of people. And that group is the Stadio alumni. We are very proud of our alumni, ladies and gentlemen, and our alumni are well sought after in the world of work and in their communities. Our alumni include award-winning teachers, principals of schools, both primary and high schools, senior lecturers at universities, entrepreneurs, directors of companies, directors in public service, designers, lawyers, policemen, and even members of parliament, just to name a few. My plea to Stadio alumni is always to go out and apply the knowledge and skills that they've obtained during their studies at their place of work and in their communities. Graduates, you are fortunate to be a graduate. And with that comes the responsibility to use your education to make a positive impact in your community. South Africa really needs you. So please, graduates, it's my plea to you, go out and go and make a difference in this beautiful country of ours. Ladies and gentlemen, if we look at statistics, we see that only 6% of South Africans have degrees. Internationally, developed countries show that up to 35% of the adult population have degrees. Other middle-income countries, for example, Brazil, have more than 15% of their population holding degrees. So, ladies and gentlemen, if we really want to change things in South Africa, if we really want to grow our economy, and if we really want to alleviate poverty, we have to give more people access to higher education. The only way we can really overcome the skills gap in our country is to do exactly that. And that is what Stadio stands for. Our strategy is built on 3 pillars, namely widening access, giving more people the opportunity to access higher education. Second pillar of our strategy is that of alignment with the world of work, making sure that our qualifications are relevant and that all our graduates are sought after in industry. And then thirdly, student-centeredness, supporting our students to be successful with their studies. Stadio, ladies and gentlemen, is a new vision in higher education. With that, we do things differently. Now, I don't want to bore you this morning with a whole list of things that we do at Stadio that we think is different. But I want to conclude this welcome address by just highlighting one of the things that we do different and that we are very proud of. And that is our Kulisa student share scheme. Stadio, ladies and gentlemen, is a listed company, listed on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange. And Stadio is also the only institution in South Africa, and I still stand to be corrected, in the world that offer our postgraduate students shares when they complete their studies with us. If we talk about postgraduate students, we talk about honors, masters, and doctorate students. Can I just see by a show of hands, are there any honors, masters, and doctorate students in the audience this morning? Just raise your hands. Let's see. Where are the doctorates? Doctorate students not here yet. Oh, there they are. So these students, ladies and gentlemen, this morning, when they walk over the stage, will not just receive their doctorate degree certificates. They will also receive their share certificates, making them shareholders in Stadio. We do this because we believe that we really partner with our students. And we want to take that first step with the majority of our students in creating their own personal wealth, and hopefully over time also move on to create generational wealth for their families. I hope that all the undergraduates here this morning will also become shareholders over time and in the future. Together, graduates, we will build this institution in becoming the leading higher education institution, not just in South Africa, but on our continent. With this, ladies and gentlemen, I trust that you all feel welcome. I want you now to sit back, relax, and enjoy this celebration with us this morning. Welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Forster, CEO of Stadio, for making us feel welcome. May I say thank you for your leadership. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning from my side. And it's now an honor and a privilege to introduce our keynote address speaker, Dr. Vincent Mapai. Now, like Mr. Forster said, Dr. Mapai is an integral part of us. He has an unusual and distinguished career in academia, private sector, and the public service. He was born in the city centre of Pretoria, where he spent the first 3 years of his life. From where his family was removed to Atteridgeville, where he grew up, he studied and he matriculated in 1969. Dr. Mapai graduated from UNISA with a BA degree in 1975. Further studied in Belgium and completed a Bachelor's of Philosophy in 1976, as well as a Master's degree in Philosophy, magna cum laude. That means an distinction. Both from the University of Utrecht in Belgium. He has held several teaching positions, research fellowships at institutions abroad, including Oxford, Harvard, Princeton, and Stanford. Dr. Mapai holds a PhD, a doctoral degree from the University of Natal, which he obtained in 1991, an honors degree in international politics from UNISA, an advanced management program from Harvard University, as well as other senior management certificates. Dr. Mapai is currently the board chairperson of Sibanye Stillwater, the Discovery Foundation, Discovery Insure, Discovery Life and Invest, as well as Mr. Forster said, Stadio Holdings. Until 30th of June 2018, he retired after full-time work after 48 years in practice. He was a visiting professor at Williams College in Massachusetts, in the United States. Before that, he was the Corporate Affairs and Transformation Director at South African Breweries for 10 years. Previously, he was also the chairman of PhD Bulletin in South Africa for a period of 5 years. He has also been involved in various public policy projects and roles, including the National Planning Commission, the Presidential Review Commission, which he chaired, and the University of South Africa. He served on the National Planning Commission that investigated the salaries of public servants. On top of all of this, Dr. Mapai has an academic career spanning 2 decades. He studied and taught at various universities locally. He was a professor extraordinaire in the Department of Social Sciences at UNISA and holds the same position at the University of Johannesburg. He held fellowships at Harvard University, Princeton, Stanford, and from 1991 to 1994 was an associate professor and the head of political science department at the University of the Western Cape. He also served as the research executive of social dynamics at the HSRC for 3 years. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are honored to have Dr. Mapai with us. Please welcome him to this podium. Dr. Mapai.
My worst moment is over. There's nothing as excruciating as listening to your own biography. You wonder who they are talking about. But the chief executive of study, chief academic officer, head of campus, community of study, executives and staff, family and friends, distinguished guests, and mostly the graduates. When I was in school, I was given three lessons about talking. One is stand up, which is the easiest. The other one is speak up, which I'm going to do now. And the most difficult one is shut up. I'm notorious for not writing my speeches. I just put the headlines and rather speak to from the heart. The danger with that is, this time last year, I was at this stage addressing a graduation ceremony. And my biggest challenge was remembering what I said then and making sure I don't contradict it today. But there are two things I said there, which I will repeat to you. One is, I know exactly how to feel. There's just something empowering about graduations. It's a moment of pride for you. It's a moment of your family and friends right behind you. It's a moment of affirmation. It's a moment where your confidence begins to develop, to say, I have achieved. Make no mistake, the only way you can gain confidence is by achieving something. Doesn't matter what it is. So I just want to join our CEO in congratulating you and wishing you a great celebration after this. We have already started the celebration, but it shouldn't stop here. The second thing I shared with your predecessors was that my worst experience in my first graduation was listening to the keynote speaker. They were just standing between me and my graduation. I wanted them off the stage as quickly as possible. So I promise you that I will be as quick as possible in delivering the pain. And my remarks will be very brief and pointed. They would not be based on anything I read at the various universities where I studied and taught. It would be things, areas that we often overlook, that the best education is at home and in the community. And I just want to share 3 lessons from that very briefly. One very embarrassing, and if you put me on it and embarrass me, I'll take you up on litigation. I never talked about it until I read President Mandela's book, biography. And I discovered he went through the same thing. I'm talking about an experience I had in 1991. The first time South Africans were ever allowed to travel on the continent with a South African passport. And I couldn't wait to go to Tanzania. My hero then and my hero till today was the first president of Tanzania, President Nyerere. One of the few presidents who never put his fingers in the till. One of the few presidents who was driven by strong ethic and a strong desire to do what is right. He is still my hero. And I was excited in the aircraft, seat belts. I was really excited as if I'm going on pilgrimage. And guess what happened? While I was sitting, the doors of the cockpit opened, and I noticed that the pilots were black. And that was the end of my excitement. My reaction was, I wonder if they know what they are doing. I'm not proud of this, but many of you may have gone through that experiences, and I want to liberate you to say it's an important thing. There are important lessons behind that. And what that taught me was the corrosive power of denigrating people. When you run people down, they actually become your joint partner in running themselves down. They begin to believe you. They begin to think that they are inferior. And they begin to force you to distrust everyone like you. Anybody who has been through any form of insult, anybody who has been through any form of denigration knows what I'm talking about. I'll come back to this. Just remember, slavery starts as an imposition, but as it develops, it becomes a joint venture. The slave enjoys being a slave. That is what is dangerous about it. I'll come back to that. The second one is my family experience. I come from a family of 7 girls and 2 boys. And I always tell people that my brother and I know the experience of suppressed minorities. It was a very, very strict family, very Catholic. You had to go to church every morning, bare feet in winter. You have to go to confession every Saturday in case God calls you on Sunday. And all we learned was perpetual hellfire hovering over us. That's what we remember about that. And when we matriculated, when my brother became 21, the first thing he did was to dump the church. He says, I don't care if I go to hell. I've been through it already. The funny thing is I continue as a practicing religious person, and I still do. But something struck me about my brother and I. We would go to a party together, come back early hours, a bit happier than when we left home, and quite tired. And typically, we slept in the same room. Typically, when I go to bed, I would just dump on my bed and sleep. I mean, when I'm so tired from the party. But something struck me about my brother. Even after a few bottles of beer, he will never jump onto his bed until he has knelt to say his prayers. Now, here is a Catholic, a practicing Catholic, saying to God, hey, I'm so tired, can we speak tomorrow? And here is a lapsed Catholic, religious, continuing to pray. And I think there are, for me, two lessons for all of us here. That ingrained beliefs from childhood tend to stay longer than we think. You reject them intellectually, but you retain them emotionally. My brother thought he was a lapsed Catholic. Actually, he was more Catholic than me. He was more Catholic. And when I rejected the black pilots, it was serious because I came from a movement called the Black Consciousness Movement. And that movement taught you that you must be proud of your blackness and your skin. I was a firm member of that. But at a critical time, I discovered I wasn't as proud as I was. I see many women here, and I'm sure they relate to what I'm saying with respect to the relationship with men. So I think the key lesson for me in both things is that in our silent moments, we need to take a step back and be aware of what are latent and destructive attitudes in us that continually make us unsuitable for what we intend to be. There are subliminal attitudes. We have rejected them intellectually. And sexism, racism, xenophobia, all of this fall under this cloud. We don't like them, but we don't actually realize that they are key drivers of what we are doing. And a moment of self-examination is very, very key. And I'm coming to the last one. And believe you me, I'm going to stop after this. You see, I'm not a politician. The only time you should worry in a political speech is when they say finally. What they mean is finally, I've remembered what I should have been saying. So I'll start all over again. They'll say finally, and they say to conclude, and they say in short, and they say to recapitulate, but it's the same final. So mine will be the final. It's what I would like to call the CAP syndrome. South Africa in 1994 went through a serious fundamental change. We are not the first country to do that. And one of the things about the serious fundamental change is that it engenders two types of reaction, one euphoria, one fear. And both reactions are understandable, but can be dangerous. Let's start with euphoria. Under the presidency of Mandela, we were in euphoria. Boy, everything works. We honored the All Blacks. We hit them hard. In 1995, Bafana knew how to kick a ball, but okay, things have changed a bit now. But we were winning, we were excited, we were looking forward to the second day. And then you say we are in heaven. Boy, out of charity, I won't mention when. But time came when we say now we are in heaven. And this is part of that period. When you think you are in heaven, you think this is the end of the world. When you think you are in hell, you think this is the point of the world. That is why I call it a cup symbol. In 1995, the cup is full. In 2007, you have hit rock bottom. And for me, the nice thing about rock bottom is that from then you can only go up. And how we get up is the challenge of your generation. My generation has come. No political party can win my future. My future came 10 years ago. Your future is what you are facing at. And you have to build it. And I think in order to build it, there are a few steps you need to put. One, under all circumstances, never allow yourself to reach a point of disillusion. Because once you are disillusioned, you have nothing to lose. And the only enemy I fear is the enemy that has nothing to lose. Because then they go on a rampage. The second thing, in South Africa, we spend a lot of time on our history, on our divisive history. Nothing wrong with that. The worst thing you can do is to forget your history. But use your history only as a rear mirror. You use the rear mirror to check if you are still safe. But you are moving forward. You don't make a U-turn. You look at the back quickly and you say, I'm safe. There's no strange car perpetually following me. In other words, use the rear mirror to build your future, not to justify perpetual slavery. In particular, spend more time looking for areas of agreement and collaboration instead of focusing on differences. 4, and I go back to the 2 early stories I told you. If we want to transform this country, it is the joint responsibility of everybody in this country. Nobody should stand up and say, let me show you how to get it right. But we tend to be that way. We say, if only you could be like me, then everything is fine. No, no. We are all damaged by our past. And we all need healing. And we all need repair. And in other words, there's no savior. There's no community which is a savior. There's no community which has nothing to learn. And we need to engage. And in order to do that, a bit of humility is important. Let us stop telling and start listening. That's the hardest part. Most of the time, we are telling each other. I don't want to say final. And I don't want to say last. But this is what I want to say. Think of 3 things. You put a block of ice in boiling water, it melts. You put eggs in boiling water, they harden. You put coffee beans in boiling water, you can hear the smell. It's exciting, it's exhilarating. What am I saying? I'm saying as we rebuild the country, try to be coffee beans and not eggs and not ice. God bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Mapai, I'm going to use a very unacademic word. Wow. Wow. Dr. Mapai, thank you very much from the bottom of my heart for sharing your wisdom and your experience with us today. And I think I speak on behalf of everybody present here that we will take it to heart. Thank you very much. Diplomandi, Prajuandi, the time has come. The time that you've been waiting for many years. I know the palms are sweaty. You've got butterflies on your stomach and the knees are buckling. But it's your time on stage now. Just think, no more assignments, no more exams, no more canvas, no more turn it in. It's over for the time being. So I want you, like Mr. Forster said, enjoy the moment on stage. This is what you've been working for. Enjoy every minute. To that end, I now request Mrs. Bridget Manyaga to present the names who appear on the program.
Good morning. Chairperson, I request you to confer the higher certificate in paralegal studies on the following students. The certificate is an NQF level 5 qualification with 120 credits and 5 modules. Rachel Felix. Baron Gavender. Juan Jack QM. Marcia Kreswa. Tembelihle Kunene. Ritabile Livitsa. Angel Lichaba. Samantha Lombard, passed cum laude with 3 distinctions. Ntabele Balipile. The persons whose names were not read but appear in the program received their qualification in absentia. I thank you. Chairperson, I request you to confer the diploma in management on the following students. The diploma is an NQF level 6 qualification with 360 credits and 14 modules. Machidiso Bampitile. Chebiso Hopa. Yvonne Boats passed cum laude with 8 distinctions. Matapa Butopela. Landiswa Boat. Michelle Ron. Valencia Chetty. Tobowani Davana passed with 7 distinctions. Stephanus de Klerk. Eunice Difologo. Elizabeth Dirapello. Thokozani Dlamini. Salume Dorane. Jane Duve. Sherin Ayman passed cum laude with 7 distinctions. Tembisa Feni. Chantal Hori Caesar. Machidiso Habatwele. Patricia Halituke. Matlale Haubutsi. Nomfundo kabashe. Uyisile Gumbi. Kafua Shaba. Johanna Hlongwane. Mariette Hlongwane. Welcome Hlongwane. Jacob Mtombeni. The persons whose names were not read but appear in the program received their qualification in absentia. I thank you. Chairperson, I request you to confer the Advanced Diploma in Management on the following students. The Advanced Diploma is an NQF Level 7 qualification with 120 credits and 6 modules. Rubengo Badamarema. Takani Baloyi. Johanna Banda. Tintswalo Bilangulu. Musina Bube. Ismail Bukhari. Thokozile Chauke. Gershwin Dirhart. Lebohang Ditsebe. Zaina Wamba. usiswa warubana. Tabiso Eshe. Mamukiti Jagas. Togozile Kodumo. Twatabone Kumalo. Claudine Hoza. Wamabela Kwetapane. Babatu Lamola. Sarimba Lipuru. The persons whose name were not read but appear in the program receive their qualification in absentia. I thank you. Chairperson, I request you to confer the postgraduate certificate in education in senior phase and further education and training on the following students. The postgraduate certificate is an NQF level 7 qualification with 128 credits and 8 modules. Rowena Adams. Gareth Bashov, passed with cum laude with 7 distinctions. Kaylee Kawutimati. Paul Chetty. Nyeledi Chauke. Tendai Chikuse. Obododike ekuno. Sydney Louise Gailey passed with 6 distinctions. Sarah Gibson passed cum laude with 7 distinctions. Gladness Hosanna Rifilwe Kadiaka Muyahabo Kataka Kumalo Iulibugile Kwekanyang Rifilwe Koko Tabiso Kombi Mary Lihong Muloko Lilaka Sulufelo Litsulunyane Masipalo Malahlela Lindiwe Manana Chuso Mashila Thandekile Masupha. Princess Mathulwe passed with 4 distinctions. Gracia Mayombo passed cum laude with 8 distinctions. Philadelphia Meti. Shelly Mulekana. Buchilo Mukati. Rosette Mukenei. Lemogang Ntwe. Pemelo Ntumelang. Christina Raciela passed cum laude with 6 distinctions. Kabelo Siema. Machidiso Sigele passed with 4 distinctions. Urapetsi Sikhote. Uchumi Silepe passed cum laude with 8 distinctions. Rineilwe Sinello. Susan Sloan, passed cum laude with 8 distinctions. Kezia Thomas. Umpemezi Tiroeng, passed with 4 distinctions. Jalette Chuma. The persons whose names were not read but appear in the program received their qualification in absentia. I thank you. Chairperson, I request you to confer the Bachelor of Policing Practices on the following students. The degrees in NQF Level 7 qualification with 360 credits and 15 modules. Sunita Arase. Patricia Baloyi. Dumela Bambisa. Makwale Banda. Tandiwe Batatu. Gloria Begenya. Patricia Bokwa. Vuyiseka Bongweni. Buleni Boyise. Erasmus Brand, passed cum laude with 7 distinctions. Goodwill Butelezi. Marvin Butelezi. Chairperson, I request you to confer the Master of Management on the following students. The degree is an NQF Level 9 qualification with 180 credits and 8 modules. Apologies, I'm told we'll still have more students graduating the Bachelor of Policing Practices. Lindelwa Buyeye. Mpulayeng Chow Chow. Dumiso Dambuza. Armstrong Dlamini. Beverly Dipoko. Luxolo Labantu. Henrik Drude, passed with 7 distinctions. Nyameka Dunjwa. Sari Foshia. Moses George. Posita Ere Honzi, passed with 8 distinctions. Truce Shabani. Adori Isbel. Anchois Jacobs. Pigile Jele. Banakazi Jonas. Philip Lirato Kaweng. Anele Ngwebi. Pumzile Ngwenya. Philisiwe Ximba. The persons whose name were not read but appear in the program received their qualification in absentia. I thank you. Chairperson, I request you to confer the Master of Management on the following students. The degree is an NQF 9 qualification with 180 credits and 8 modules. Muyahabo Baloyi. Topic: the perceived impact of talent management practices on organizational performance at selected TVET colleges in Limpopo province by Supervisor Prof. Cecile and Henk de Jager. Moses Bolton. Thank you. Moses Bolton. Topic: exploring talent and knowledge management factors to support the sustainability of the Nkangala District Police Service. Supervisor, Dr. Lisejo Simon Bupape. Lutendo Davishi. Topic: the perceived effective vocational program for people with disabilities in the Department of Social Development within Northwest Province by Supervisor Dr. Lizzie van Hoek. Peter Dineker, passed cum laude with 6 distinctions. Topic: development of a talent management model for the School of Armor Instructors in the South African National Defence Force by Supervisor Dr. E. Swanibu. Tebogo Julie. Topic: Capitec Bank's customer relationship management practices, effectiveness in retaining loyalty among customers in the Northern Cape province. Supervisor, Prof. Flip Stutter. Paul Gravenstein, passed cum laude with 5 distinctions. Topic: Evaluating the financial implications caused by COVID-19 on South Africa major banks in comparison with their American counterparts. Supervisor, Dr. Chris van Sey. Cynthia Hardnick. Topic: Impact of poor business process management in the Department of Home Affairs, a government institution in South Africa, by Supervisor Prof. Dr. Peter Kutsi Smith. Chianeyo Utama. Topic: The relationship between motivation, retention, and promotion. Case study of the Department of Correctional Services. Supervisor, Dr. Pete Bester. Mabo Holo Lucie. Topic: The relationship between control activities, control environment, and the operation and maintenance of infrastructure assets within local government. Supervisor, Prof. Flip Stutter. Mpho Mabuwa. Topic: An investigation into the implementation of selected human resource management functions at a government department. Supervisor, Prof. Yvette Lowe. Irieli Mabunda. Topic: Customer relationship management as a strategic business tool by the Supply Chain Management Directorate of the Public University. Supervisor, Dr. Buntu Kuwe. Honobela Madire. Topic: Analysis of risk associated with preferential procurement in the mine with host communities. Supervisor, Dr. Joel Musenohi. Madome Malima. On the topic: Assessing the role of strategic leadership in enhancing performance of public administrators at the Limpopo Department of Health during the period of 2017 to 2021. Supervisor, Dr. Liseja Simon Upape. Awelani Marindi on the topic, the importance of performance appraisal in managing employee performance, a case study of Beit Bridge Border Post Office Station by Supervisor Prof. Angelo Nicolates. Maria Mantata on the topic, business intelligence for data mining and influence on decision-making in the mining sector by Supervisor Dr. Lise van Hoek. Maliepo Marakala. Topic, customer relationship management in the digital era and the using business intelligence to meet customer needs, a case study for small businesses. Supervisor, Dr. Gerard van Veek. Priscilla Matebula. The topic, the development of tailored strategies to address the skills gap challenges for talent individuals after COVID-19. Supervisor, Dr. Lise van Hoek. Ntsako Maluleka. Topic, the impact of customer relationship management on clients' retention in an emerging law firm between 2019 and 2022. Supervisor, Prof. Angelo Nicolates. The persons whose name were not read but appear in the program received their qualification in absentia. I thank you. Chairperson, I request you to confer the Doctor of Management on the following students. The degree is an NQF level 10 qualification with 360 credits. I will now call upon the supervisor, Prof. Peter.
Esteemed guests, I'm honored to present Dr. Randa Emisha Mariah Swart to you. She has completed all the requirements for the degree Doctor of Management, and she has successfully defended a thesis titled Private Higher Education Institutions in South Africa, a Consumer Decision-Making Framework. Emisha was born in Klerksdorp in 1995. After matriculated, she obtained a Bachelor of Commerce degree in Communication Management and honors in Marketing and Entrepreneurship. and a Master's in Commerce in Marketing Management from the Northeast University Potchefstroom campus. She is currently lecturing and supervising in the postgraduate school of the Genesis Business School in Sandton. In the candidate's thesis, she critically explored the factors that should be considered by private higher education institutions when targeting their share of the available market. To make a valuable contribution to the body of knowledge in the field, the study proposed a conceptual framework that could be implemented by private higher education institutions as part of their marketing strategy to improve their overall profitability and sustainability. She has demonstrated exceptional academic ability and commitment throughout her studies. 3 research articles are already under review at accredited journals. I'm therefore pleased to recommend Emisha Mariah Swart for the degree of Doctorate of Management.
Chairperson, I request you to confer the Doctor of Policing Practices on the following students. The degrees in NQF Level 10 qualification with 360 credits. I will now call upon the supervisor, Prof. Adiwela Olutola.
Chairperson, sir. I have the honor to introduce Kennedy Kaumba Mabu. He has satisfied all the conditions set forward by Stadio Higher Education for the award of Doctor of Policing. Kennedy Kaumba Mabuku was born in Namibia on 17 July 1984. He is married and the father of 7 children. He joined the Namibia Police Force in 2008 with a grade 12 certificate. In 2012, he commenced with his studies at the then Southern Business School, now Stadio Higher Education, and obtained a bachelor's degree in policing practice in 2015, a bachelor's honors degree in policing practice in 2016, and a master of policing practice in 2018. He also obtained the Master of Security in Security and Strategic Studies from the University of Namibia in 2022. He is currently an inspector superintendent in the Namibia Police Force and a police facilitator in the Namibia Police Force and SAPCO School of Excellence. In his thesis entitled A Framework for Performing Internal Security as a Constitutional Obligation of the Namibia Police Force, Kennedy Kaumba Mabuku addresses the reality that despite Namibian Constitution mandating the Namibian police members to preserve internal security of the country, the NAMPO is unable to do so effectively. The thesis sets out to analyze the extent to which NAMPO can successfully preserve internal security of Namibia. Furthermore, it determines whether the preservation of internal security
should singularly be the primary responsibility of the Namibia Police Force. His study makes an original contribution to scholarly and professional knowledge through an original conceptual framework for a performance of internal security as a constitutional obligation of the Namibia Police Force. He already published article in accredited journal in 2022, 4 manuscripts already under review. The external examiners recommended that the thesis be turned into a book because of what they saw in the thesis. Chairperson, sir, I now recommend that you award a degree Doctor of Policing on Kennedy Kaumba Mabu.
Chairperson, I request you to confer the Advanced Diploma in Management on the following student. Noqhubela Adonis. Thank you. Another round of applause, please.
Thank you, Mrs. Manyaga. From an academic point of view, congratulations to each and every one of you. You deserve it. Give yourself another round of applause. But all is not over yet. I want to leave you with a message, and I'm going to use a very unacademic word. Don't stop with your studies. Look at the 2 new doctors. Let that be an inspiration to you. Again, and now the party can stop. Even if it's on a month. At Stadium, we also award our top achievers. In order to be eligible for the top award, students need to achieve an overall average of at least 75% on their first attempt in order to be considered. The first top overall achievement for the Bachelor of Policing Practice goes to Mr. Erasmus Brandt with an average of 88.75%. Our second academic award is for the top overall achievement in the Master of Management, member NQF 9. And the award goes to Pieter Kloete de Necker with an average of 78.63%. Let's give them a warm applause. For the last part of the achievement awards, I call on Professor Elmarie Sattler for the doctoral students.
Mr. CEO, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to request the two supervisors of our students, Professor Flip Skitter and Professor Congratulatory, to join me here next to the podium. Then I would also like to request Dr. Imisha Mariah Swart and Dr. Kennedy Mabuku to join me on the stage. Yes. To the two supervisors, Professor Adewale Olatola and Professor Flip Skitter, on behalf of Stadio Higher Education, may I express my sincere congratulations to you on the success of your doctoral students, Dr. Kennedy Kahumbu Mabuku and Dr. Imisha Mariah Swart. I trust that it was a mutually constructive and rewarding experience. At the doctoral introduction workshop, Stadio committed a financial award to every student and supervisor who successfully completed the doctoral program within a minimum period. It is hence my pleasure to present to the two supervisors with a committed award of 5,000 Rand as promised. A similar award will be presented to your two students. Thank you sincerely for your support to the doctoral program and to our students. Now to our two students. Dr. Imisha Mariah Swart, Dr. Kennedy Kahumbu Mabuku. On behalf of Stadio, may I express my sincere congratulations to you on the completion of your doctoral studies. I also trust that this was a constructive and rewarding experience. At your doctoral induction workshop, Stadio also committed a financial award to any student who completes his or her studies within the minimum period. It is thus my pleasure to present to you on behalf of Stadio the committed award of 5,000 Rand as promised. I wish you every success in the pursuit of your professional journey.
Thank you, Professor Sattler. Give them a round of applause. If that is not inspiration to you, I don't know what is. It is now finally, not finally, it is now my privilege to call on the Stadio Chief Academic Officer, Dr. Divya Singh, to deliver the congratulatory address. Dr. Singh.
Ladies and gentlemen, and I really believe it was a good morning. Thank you for making this morning of celebration. To the parents and to their families, to my colleagues on stage, and most of all, to the graduates. I enjoyed myself, and I hope you did too. I couldn't help but see your smiles and appreciate your smiles as you all walked across the stage. I'm going to ask you to do something for me. Turn to the person next to you and say, congratulations. It's all about networking, ladies and gentlemen. Now look to the back and see if you can find your parents or your family or your friend. Look for them. Can you see them? And look to the front and a smile for your lecturers. And that's all about gratitude. Never be afraid to say thank you. To Dr. Swart and to Dr. Mabuku, I was hoping to be the first to publicly use your title, but alas, it's not my advantage. But I do want to express a very special word of congratulations to you on behalf of Stadio. And we sincerely hope that you will employ your new authority to empower others to follow in your footsteps. To all the other graduates here this morning, would you not really like to wear that red gown and walk across the stage? Well, Stadio offered you the opportunity. Mr. Forster invited you to further studies in his welcome address. I hope that you will accept it. I look forward to seeing all of you again at another graduation ceremony. But speaking to the graduates this morning, and for some of you, it might be a longer time away. Do you remember your first day of registration? The first day of registration. Trying to learn what Canvas was all about? The stress of preparing for an exam when there is an important work deadline looming. Writing the exam whilst the baby is ill. That midnight call to your friend to find out, is chapter 4 going to be tested in the exam tomorrow? I believe that all of you this morning, and I speak both to the graduates and to their families, will relate to at least one of these experiences. But by the sound of it, many of you related to all. Yet, as you sit here this morning, now having successfully walked across the stage without tripping, without your mortarboard falling off, and I must admit, I did look at many of the brave women and those incredibly high heels that you wear. Hats off to you for that. But as you sit here today, I hope that you will look back on your years with Stadio as being amongst the best that you have had. All the stresses forgotten for the moment. And all that I can say is, congratulations. Bask, enjoy your well-deserved glory. However, and there's always a however, with a successful graduation comes further challenges. Deciding whether to apply for that promotion at work, looking for a job, competing with yourself and competing with others, or just deciding whether or not to continue studying. And again, I'm going to say to you, the only way to get to those red gowns is if you continue studying. As a Stadio graduate, I believe that you will have learned some very important lesson. Tenacity, self-discipline, patience, hard work, and perseverance. And I can only confirm that these are attributes that will hold you in good stead as you journey through life. Stadia's ethos is about community. And more recently, we have begun to pointedly, specifically focus on the values of ethical citizenship and social responsibility. We hope that as Stadio graduates, these norms will define your conduct, your engagements, and your behavior. I hope that they will help you to decide whether you want to be that melting block of ice, that hard-boiled egg, or that aromatic, flavor-filled handful of coffee beans about which Dr. Mapai spoke. To the graduates, I hope that you will walk forth with confidence as the graduate of Stadio. And the only advice that I have for you is be the change you want to see in your communities, and the rest of South Africa will follow. I can assure you that we are very proud of our graduates. But we know that a higher education institution is known by the graduates it produces. And so to all of you, I hope that you will reciprocate our pride in you and wear the badge of your alma mater with grace and with honor. Congratulations on becoming a graduate this morning, and may success always come your way in life. Good luck, good morning, and travel home safely.
Thank you, Dr. Singh. As always, very inspiring. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, finally, we've come to the end of the proceedings. Please rise for the singing of the national anthem, and then please remain standing to enable the Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Chris Forster, to dissolve the congregation and for the academic procession to leave the hall. Thank you very much.
By virtue of the powers entrusted to me, I now dissolve this congregation.